Hello everyone and welcome to our first session of Unstoppable. That's right, you're here for the very first time for us trying this new resource to equip and encourage you guys at home so that you might become unstoppable with God too. So, today, my name's Oliver, we have myself, we have Laura, we have Alex, and we have Olivia who are helping to bring us all of our fantastic materials. Hopefully, by now, you have got your craft pack at home. But if you don't have a craft pack, don't worry, you can improvise. Hit pause as you go, perhaps, and get some resources from around your house and see what you can do to join in. But if you've got this craft pack, keep it with you. Alex will be showing us through what we need a bit later. So are you ready? Are you ready? Fantastic, then let's learn together what it means to become unstoppable with God.
Hi everyone, I'm Laura, and today's story is all about Daniel and the lions. This is King Darius, and this is Daniel. Daniel worked for King Darius and did such a great job that the king was going to make him the Prime Minister of the whole kingdom. How exciting! These are the grumpy men. They may look happy, but their smiles are fake. They don't like Daniel, and they definitely don't want him become the Prime Minister. So do you know what they did? They hatched a plan to trick Daniel. "Oh, King," they said, "you are so great. Why don't you make a rule that says everyone must pray to you for the next 30 days? If they break the rule, they have to be thrown into the lion's den." "Ooh, I like this," said the king. "Yes, let's make a rule. Bring me the rule book." What the king did not know is that Daniel would always refuse to pray to anyone except God. So the grumpy men with fake smiles watched and waited. Sure enough, Daniel prayed to God and not the king, and with that the grumpy men ran off to tell the king. "Oh, King, live forever," they shouted as they rushed to see him. "Daniel has been praying to his God and not you. You must throw him into the lion's den at once." "What have I done?" shouted the king. "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear." That night, Daniel was taken to the lion's den and put inside. The next morning, after very little sleep, the king leapt out of bed and rushed to the lion's den. "Daniel, are you okay?" he shouted. "Yes," Daniel replied. "Last night an angel came to shut the lions' mouths because I did nothing wrong." And with that the king brought Daniel out of the lion's den and made sure his silly rule went away and asked everyone to go respect Daniel's God because he had saved him from the lions. What a story! Because Daniel trusted in God, he survived the hungry lions and became the Prime Minister of the kingdom after all. God made Daniel unstoppable.
Hi guys, welcome to the first craft of the first Sunday afternoon online church session, Unstoppable. This week's theme is going to be Daniel and the Lion's Den. So the craft this week is going to be making a glorious lion. Hopefully all of you have been given one of the craft packs, which would have been delivered to you by the delightful Jeff. And in that pack you would have been given some strips of beige card or paper, some strips of yellow actual card, a paper plate, a lion's face and a lollipop stick. There is a piece of paper inside your pack which also says what else you will need, which will be some PVA glue or sellotape, some colouring pens or crayons to colour in your lion's head, and some scissors to cut out the eye holes in the mask. As my lion is going to go onto the paper plate, I'm probably not going to cut out the eye holes and I'm just going to draw in some delightful eyes on there. I might even give the lion eyelashes or something for extra effect. So I've got my colouring pens here. You can colour the lion's face any colour you like. You could even go for a jazzy pink colour or purple, or you could go for a nice traditional yellow or orange. I think I'm going to go for a pink colour. So I'm going to colour in all of the lion's face. I think it will have a pink face with a purple nose and purple eyebrows. So I'm going to get colouring. I have now finished colouring in my lion. As you can see, I've done a lovely pink face, pink nose, purple pieces of the ears and eyebrows. I'm going to now glue the back of the lion so I can stick it onto my paper plate. Little bit on the ears. Oh, must remember to put your glue lid back on. Right, I am now sticking the face onto the paper plate. Oh, he's looking glorious already. I've also made like a million pieces of double-sided sellotape, and that will help me to stick on my lion's manes. Ooh. Let's stick that one behind the ear. I have now finished sticking all the pieces of the mane around the lion, thanks to my trusty double-sided sellotape. I've tried to hide the paper plate, so I have stuck each piece underneath the side of the lion's face. I've done this all the way round. We're now going to stick the lollipop stick to the back of it. I'm turning the plate over. I'm going to get my trusty piece of sellotape. And then if you stick the lollipop stick onto the circle of the plate, oh dear, that's not great. And here we go, here's your lion.
The Lord your God is with you. I am not afraid, I am not dismayed, because I'm walking in faith and victory. Come on, I'm walking in faith and victory, for the Lord your God is with you. Be bold and be strong, for the Lord your God is with you. Lord your God is with you. I am not afraid, I am not dismayed, because I'm walking in faith and victory. Come on, I'm walking in faith and victory, for the Lord your God is with you.
Well done, everyone. That, I'm sure, was fantastic. Your actions are undoubtedly brilliant. A great song too, isn't it? And thank you so much, Olivia, for leading us through that song. Did a great job. Be bold, be strong. That's exactly what Daniel was, wasn't it? He managed to be bold and be strong when everything seemed quite difficult. But let's just quickly recap the story and remind ourselves with a little quiz. A very short quiz about what took place in the story today. So, question 1. A test for yourselves at home. Who was the king in the story? The answer? His name was Darius. Question number 2. What was the name of the person who prayed to God? The hero of our story, Daniel. Thirdly, in the silly rule, how many days were people supposed to pray to the king, King Darius? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? The answer was 30 days. 30 days to pray to the king. Interesting. Fourthly, how much sleep did the king get on the night that Daniel was put into the lion's den? Let me say that one again. How much sleep did the king get on the night that Daniel was put into the lion's den? Do you remember? The answer is not a lot. He slept very little. He couldn't hardly sleep at all. So not a lot, very little, anything like that. That's the right answer. And then fifthly, who stopped the lions from being hungry when Daniel was in the den with them? That's right, it was an angel. The Lord sent an angel into the den to shut the mouths of the lions so that they couldn't eat and they weren't hungry. So Daniel was saved. And it's amazing, isn't it? What an incredible story. I don't know about you, but if I was put into a den with lions, I think I would be quite scared. I'd be quite concerned. And maybe Daniel was. We don't know. Maybe Daniel did feel a bit, oh dear, what's happening? But Daniel knew that he hadn't done anything wrong. Daniel knew that he was innocent. So when he was put into the lion's den, do you know what he did? He trusted God. And he said, do you know what, God, I'm here and I trust you. I'm sure Daniel prayed during the night, and I'm sure that God was, well, as we see from the conclusion, God was keeping a very close eye on Daniel and making sure that he was okay. So you see, we can trust God, can't we? If we can learn anything from Daniel, it's that we can trust God. A bit like if I was to tie a rope around my waist and hand it to someone like my brother and say, can you hold on to this for me? Don't let me go. And then I was to climb down an abseil, down the side of an abseiling wall, I would trust my brother to keep a hold of the rope. And in exactly the same way, Daniel trusts in God to keep a hold of that rope, to look after him, and to help him. And so you see, Daniel trusts God when it's confusing, and it's difficult, and he's innocent, and there's all sorts of things going on. And it's quite amazing, isn't it? It's just incredible to think. Daniel was prepared to trust God with his life. And the amazing thing is, Daniel becomes unstoppable. Yes, that's right. Daniel becomes unstoppable because he trusts God more than he trusts himself. And so God has all sorts of things for Daniel to do, and all sorts of things yet in the pipeline. And Daniel simply trusts and believes that God will look after him. So in these kind of funny days, these strange times of coronavirus, where we're all still at home and it's difficult, and you've got to do your schoolwork, but it's hard going, and you don't get to see your friends, and there's lots of things happening. It can be easy to kind of feel hopeless, can't it? Daniel teaches us that in difficult times, we can become unstoppable too. So, let me encourage you with that. You and me and anyone who sat on that side and anyone who sat on that side, God can make all of us unstoppable when we trust in him. Oh, that brings us to the end of Unstoppable Part 1. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We hope you've had a great time, you've learnt lots, and you've realised that you are unstoppable when you trust God. Our next session is going to be on February the 28th. That's Sunday, February the 28th. And we're going to be thinking about a lady by the name of Ruth in the Bible. And she teaches us some other amazing things about how God helps us to become unstoppable. So thank you to everyone who's taken part today, and we hope to see you again next time for the next Unstoppable. Goodbye!
Goodbye!
Bye.